In this lesson, we're going to be translating figures in the coordinate plane. The success criteria is I can identify a translation, I can find the coordinates of a translated figure, and I can use coordinates to translate a figure. A transformation changes a figure into another figure. The new figure is called the image. A translation is a transformation in which a figure slides but does not turn. Every point of the figure moves the same distance and in the same direction. So I'm on Desmos.com here and just going to show you a quick example of what a translation is. I think it's easier to do it this way. So right now I have a purple triangle that has dashed lines, and then underneath it is a red triangle. Okay? The purple triangle is going to be the translated figure. So when I move my slider right here, see how I'm sliding the image, the purple triangle, to the right, okay? And then now I'm sliding it to the left. This would be a horizontal translation, okay? And then I've moved this triangle 5 units to the left. Now I've moved it 5 units to the right, okay? And I can also go vertically. So here, if I go up, this is now a horizontal and vertical translation, okay? So I've moved it 5 units to the right and 2 units up, okay? And then I can move it down as well. Okay, so this is a translation. Notice how the figure is not changing the size or shape, but it's just changing the position on the coordinate plane where it is. For example 1, we're going to tell whether the blue figure is a translation of the red figure. So I'm going to start with the red figure for part A. This is a trapezoid. And notice how I can get from this red figure to this blue figure by just sliding it. Okay, so I can either slide it down and then to the left, or to the left and then down. And the blue figure is the same exact shape and size as the red figure, and the only thing that it's done is slid there. So this is a translation. Now over here, I'm going to start with the red figure, and notice how I can't get from the red figure to the blue figure by just sliding. I have to actually rotate this. So this is not a translation. And now we're done with this one. Translations in the coordinate plane. To translate a figure A units horizontally and B units vertically in a coordinate plane, add A to the x coordinates and B to the y coordinates of the vertices. Positive values of A and B represent translations up and right. Negative values of A and B represent translations down and left. So algebra, to translate the x, which is horizontal, we would add A to our x, and then to translate our y, which is the vertical component, we would add b. In a translation, the original figure and image are identical. For example 2, we're going to translate the red triangle 3 units right and 3 units down, and then it asks, what are the coordinates of the image? Well, I see my red triangle, A, B, and C. Now, since I'm translating the entire triangle, that means I'm going to translate every single point on the triangle. So there's actually an infinite amount of points, but we don't need to worry about that. All I'm going to do is translate the vertices and then draw the same triangle. Okay? So I have point A right here, and I need to translate that 3 units right and 3 units down. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So if I go, I'm going to zoom in here. So I'm going to go 3 spaces right, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 spaces down, 1, 2, 3. So this new point right here, I'm going to label this as A prime. It's very important that you label all of your new points of the image. Now I'm going to do the same thing for B and C. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, and then right 1, 2, 3. So that's 5, 2. That is going to be B prime. That's what this little apostrophe thing means. And then same thing with C. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's 4, -1. C prime. Okay, now I'm going to draw my triangle, and to get your accurate triangle, you should use a straight edge. Now the last thing I need to do is write down the coordinates. So A prime is the ordered pair 1, -2. B prime is the ordered pair 5, 2. And C prime is the ordered pair 4, -1. And now we're done with example 2. For example 3, a landscaper represents a park using a coordinate plane. He draws a square with vertices A, 1, -2, B, 3, -2, C, 3, -4, and D, 1, -4, to represent the location of a new fountain. City officials want to move the fountain 4 units left and 6 units up. Find the coordinates of the image. Then draw the original figure and the image in a coordinate plane. So we could do that in the order that they recommend, but I think it's actually easier to use the coordinate plane to help us figure out our answer. So what I'm going to do here is plot the original location of this fountain. So it's going to be 1, -2, which is A. And then B is 3, -2. Zoom in a bit. C is 3, -4. And then D is 1, -4. So now I'm going to draw my line segments. Okay, and now I need to translate this 4 units left and 6 units up. For my image here, I'm going to use a different color. I'll use red. So remember, that means I'm going to translate each one of these vertices 4 units left and 6 units up. So for this point, 1, 2, 3, 4 units left, and then 6 units up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So A prime is going to be the point -3, 4. I'm going to label that as A prime. Now notice, this is a 2 by 2 square. So I could do the same thing with all these other points. I could just count 4 units left and 6 units right. I know that the image is going to be the exact same size and shape as the original, so I can just draw a square here that's 2 by 2 and then label the vertices appropriately. So this one right here is going to be B prime. And then this one right here is going to be C prime. And this one right here is going to be D prime. Now I will draw my line segments. The last thing I'm going to do is write down the coordinates of the image. So I'll keep that in red. So A prime is the ordered pair -3, 4. B prime is the ordered pair -1, 4. C prime is the ordered pair -1, 2. And D prime is -3, 2. If you notice, if you take our original coordinates, which I'll zoom up, scroll up I should say, and then a 4 units left translation, that's going to be -4 to the x. 6 units up is going to be +6 to the y. So if I have my A here and I subtract 4, I get -3. And then my y value of that point, -2, if I add 6, I get 4. And if you do the same thing with all of these points, your image points will match up. So that's another way you can do it. I think the graph is easier, but you can do it whatever way you want. Anyway, now we're done.